Hello, season's greetings everybody. As you can see, my background looks a little bit different today. Actually, fun fact, I don't actually celebrate Christmas, but I love decorating and I love the spirit. This video is a little bit different from my normal tutorial videos. We're going to take a look at the first violin part of Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson, which maybe a bunch of you are playing this season in your orchestra and whatnot. So in the first violin part, there are several different fingering options you can do, so I will show you some, and you're welcome to steal my fingerings. Of course, you can try all of them and pick the ones that are most comfortable for you, but I'm going to show you what's been helpful for me. Right from the very beginning, even from the first measure, you can choose to play either first or second position. So in first position, you'll get that bright E string color. Or in second position, for fewer string crossings, you can start with a fourth finger. Also, depending on your orchestra, most groups that I've played with, they do that ricochet, they don't do a regular slur here. Most of them do that little ricochet. So find the place on your bow where your spiccato is most even. So for me, it's usually right near the balance point, and that's usually where you can get those ricochet notes to be the most even. I would practice it also just normal slur, and that's going to help get your bow control really nice there on that slur. Now, when we get to the third time where it keeps going, and toward the end of the first line, I do recommend to do this one in second position, just to avoid all the extra string crossing. So I do like to start on the fourth finger here on the third one. So it just stays right there, only two strings and easier to cross over. So now, rehearsal A, where the main thing comes in, you can do it again two ways, first position or third position. I prefer third position personally, because then the slur, it's going to match both times. So the slur, both of the notes are on the A string, on the same string. And then for the second part, also both slur notes on the A string. That way both of them match, and it's easy to create them very consistent. But if you start with first position, which is also fine, you'll notice that the slurs, the first one you're going to have to cross strings, and the second one you don't. Here you have to cross strings. So just for consistency, I prefer to do this on the third finger. Okay, so now let's skip to rehearsal B, which is where we have... So this part, again, you have a couple options here. Some orchestras will start this up bow, others will start it down bow. Practice it both ways, so you can get a feel for both versions. No matter what, that C sharp at the end of the line is going to be on a down bow. You can start it either in third or fourth position. You can do third position and then reach up to the harmonic. You could do it that way. Reach, and then third finger on the C sharp. But I like to do only one reach. So, because if you reach up to the harmonic and then you have to reach down to the C sharp, that C sharp will have to be with the third finger because of what's coming up next. Because the next part we need, that has to start with 4, so the C sharp is right under it, so the C sharp would have to be with 3, right? So I prefer to start with the third finger, so everything is organized. 4 is right there. And then half step shift with the third finger down to the C sharp. So it's very close, and then the D is a half step away again. Here I do the harmonic in this one. The other reason I like to do third finger at B is because now, in third position, we can do the exact same fingering. Right? So it's the same fingering both times, so it's more consistent. You don't have to think so much about it. Let's skip now to rehearsal C. That's when we have the tune up in the higher register. So actually, this touches a little bit on the topic I introduced at the end of last week's video, which has to do with shifting during silence. I didn't make a video about this yet. It should be coming out in a week or two. Look out for that. Here we have one of those examples actually. So we have 3 measures of rest before we come in with a higher position here. So a couple ways you can approach it, but whichever way you approach it, the most important thing is you have to hear that first note in your mind, like be ready to play it, like you have to be able to sing it right off the bat. If you're not able to do that, then it's going to be like almost impossible to hit it. So the rest of the orchestra there is helping you out to pre-hear it because they're playing the harmony leading up to it. Let's practice a little bit before that. So we just had then sing da 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 ba da da ba ba bum F. There's your F. That's the one you need to pre-hear. So now on top of that, so you have to pre-hear it. On top of that, you have to plan how you're going to get your hand there. Now, the good news is the last note that we just had was on the same string. It was on the E string. You had your first finger down on that A, right? That was the last note we played. So during those rests, a little bit of hand choreography I like to do. It might look a little silly, but I actually do this and it helps me. So first, I think of this C in third position, the third finger. That's going to define where my 5th position is. Then I do a little finger substitution. Of course, I do all of this in silence because I'm not supposed to play here, but you can practice it audibly. Finger exchange. So I made it to 5th position. Then, because I know how to play fingered octaves, because I've practiced them in my scale routine, I can reach that high F right from there. Right from there, my 4th finger knows where to go because the perfect 4th. And that's how I make it to that high F. So let's break it down one more time. So I play then in silence I think C. So I have my first finger on C and then I hear F. Then, okay, so starting from here, you can do 2 things after this. So this fingering, you start with 3rd finger, 3 on A. You can do 2 things here. What I like to do is reach down with the 1st finger, just 1 step lower on the E string. Then I have my 1st finger on F, and then I don't have to really shift. Half step shift. I have to land on 3 on high F again. So it's nice to land on 1st finger low F. Half step. And then shift to 2nd finger. So this is B flat. Now, from here I have to get up to that high F again. Again, same way, I just have to pre-hear it. Here, it's actually easier, this one, because the bow is not going to leave the string this time, like it had to before C. Okay, so now I'll give you just one more fingering option here, going back to C. Again, we'll start on the 3rd finger. You can just jump to 3rd position. But then you will have to shift on the E string. It's a little more difficult because then you'll be shifting from the 3rd finger to the 1st finger. You could do it that way too. So pick the one that's more comfortable for you. I'm trying to avoid giant leaps as much as possible, just to be really efficient. The middle section, not a whole lot here. Just make sure that for all of these entrances, even from the beginning of the piece, make sure the bow is on the string, starts right from the string, so that articulation is clean. Again, this is another one of those sections where some orchestras will want to do it slurred, and others. Here, it's usually a little bit more on the string, just to keep it really close, to keep it piano. So make sure you start from the string. Near the balance point is fine. But don't travel too far with the bow on the gliss, because you'll need to be right in the middle again for the spiccato coming up right after. Okay, I just had to readjust my camera angle a little because the sun is blasting in my face, and you can see down here it's covering where my left hand was. So you can see better this way, hopefully. Next part on the G string. Here to fourth finger. It's the harmonic actually. You can cross over here. Then half step shift. Half step shifts are great. Take advantage of them because you don't have to really look for them. They're right there. Then I'm going to go to half position for the F sharp because I have a D sharp coming up. So I'm going to play the F sharp with the third finger, and I'm going to have my second finger on E, first finger on D sharp. Then shift right here. Right here, get out of half position, go into regular first position. Okay, so now we're going to skip to rehearsal E, which is where the modulation happens. So similar to the opening, just in third position, starting on D this time. So now that F that we ended on, use a finger substitution here to prepare. And here, this time instead of finger octave feel, we're going to feel a regular octave. So again, finding shifts like this in the middle of not playing is tricky. And if you know how your hand frame feels in different positions, if you've been practicing that, it's going to be easier. And of course, you have to hear that F. Here, stay in one position. Okay, so now we're going to stay in this position except until the last measure before F, before rehearsal F, we're going to switch to third finger. Here I like to shift to third position. I just did the wrong bowing, but I'm not doing bowings right now, but it's okay. Here you can shift to first finger. Second finger, and then keep the second finger down, cross over with 3. So the first finger stays on B flat. Again, many fingering options here. Do what's comfortable for you. So putting it all together from F. I'll do the pickup note. Okay, that's the idea, then it repeats and it's pretty straightforward from there. Right before rehearsal I, third position, first position, pick whichever is easiest for you. At I, you have a few options. If you're brave, you can shift from F to C, first to fifth position, or you could do third finger. You can do that too. So here you'll need a substitution, either second finger and reach to 4, or you could substitute to first finger, either 4 or 3, whichever one, or you could do second finger, reach. They're all fine, whichever one you want to do. Just one quick tip for any piece like this that has multiple fingering options, all of which can be comfortable with practice, is that you make a decision which you're going to do. I've fallen into this trap in pieces exactly like this, where I've practiced it all different kinds of ways, and then on the spot it's like, which one am I going to do now? And having to decide that on the spot, not the best strategy. So definitely recommend you choose a fingering that you're going to stick with, that you feel comfortable and confident with. Put it in your part so that during the performance you can just go right in, enjoy yourself. All right, so enjoy the holidays if you are watching this on the same day or on the same week that I am posting this. If you're watching this later in the year, like during the summer, happy Christmas in July or something like that. Either way, I hope that you got something useful out of this, and let me know your biggest takeaway in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel down below, hit the notification bell, and by the way, I have a bi-monthly newsletter that goes out on the 1st and 15th of each month. The next one is coming out on January 1st, the beginning of the new year. So if you'd like a summary of all of my content in both video and written form, sign up. So enjoy your holidays, enjoy your performances. I will see you next time. Happy practicing.